Okay, welcome back. It's time to unlearn what you have learned. And I came across this video. All credit goes to Nick Jones. This is his video. I'm just reacting to it. It's just a part where I started that I wanted to obviously talk about because in his headline, he says, I thought I knew Phillip Anthony Mitchell. We don't really know anyone that, pretty much is in the public eye or whatever else, what they've been through, their past, what they're dealing with at the current time. None of that. We're all people and we all have our battles and, everything else. There's certain things that we have to deal with through life in our walk with Jesus Christ. And that's just how it goes. None of us are perfect. That's just it. None of us are perfect. We all have our little things and whatever else and so on and so forth. Once again, that's why Jesus Christ had to die, sacrifice himself in order to save us because there was no other way. There was no other way. They were doing it, different ways back then. I talked about this in my last video where they were sacrificing animals and doing all that junk. Well, that's only temporary. You need something that's foolproof. And well, guess what? Jesus Christ is foolproof. So let's listen to what Mr. Phillip Anthony is talking about here. And you can also look up this video and find it for yourself on Nick Jones's channel, or you can look up the original video for the interview. Here we go.
3 days of meetings, and I would just never imagine it would be at a place where we could do things like that, right? And so for me, there's this constant awe of God. It shows what he could do with a life that is just fully surrendered. Like, all God needs is a yes and a fully surrendered life, which I believe is the only right response to the cross, right? When I think about the cross and what Christ accomplished for you and I on the cross, I think the only right response to what Christ did for us on the cross is a life fully surrendered to him, a life laid down. I think any response to the cross is unacceptable outside of that. And so when I think about everything that's happening right now, I marvel over what God is doing. It is his doing, it is for his glory, it's his sovereignty. But it's happening with a person that's just fully surrendered to the Lord. He can do anything with a life that's fully surrendered. Look what he's done in your life, Sam. I mean, if I could put a little bit of your business out there, you were far away from God. You were in the occult.
Yeah.
You were in the occult. You were involved in witchcraft. You were in a very dark life. And God got a hold of you. And what you gave God was a complete yes.
Yeah.
You gave him a life that was fully surrendered. And because of that, now you're an apologist and you are an evangelist and you are a defender of the faith. You're wearing all white because of what God did in your life. I wear all black because of what God. So even the fact that you only wear white and I only wear black, well, our clothing speaks something that God has done in our life. You are a representative of what God will do with a person that's fully surrendered, and I am too, right? Nothing special with Sam or Phillip. It's just here are two people that fully surrendered their lives to Christ. And here we are having this conversation. So I marvel over it. I don't, I fight to keep pride out of my heart. I fight to make sure I don't think of myself more highly than I ought. I want to wake up every morning like a little child around the Father and marvel over the things that he's doing. I know it is for his glory and not for mine. And I only play a part in what's happening. Even with 2819, I don't own that ministry. It belongs to God. And one day he will call me home and another man will take over what I've built. Mine is to just do my part while I'm still breathing. And I'm thankful for that. Yeah. Dang, I'm about to cry. I'm thankful Sam, because sometimes when I think about what God is doing, sometimes I think about all the times I could have been dead before he saved me. I think about shootouts I've been in, bullets have grazed me, car accidents I've been in.
If you do 25 leg raises a day, your apron belly will go bye-bye. If you do 25 leg presses a day, your peach will...
I've been in. I think about all the times I could have died before he revealed himself to me. I could have been eternally lost. But his grace kept me alive until that moment I would say yes. So when I think about all that I did, even all the evil I've done to people, armed robbery and the women's lives I've ruined, all the things I've done, and I think about invited into the kingdom. And there would be anything for me to do in the kingdom. It just overwhelms me. Even to this day, 20 years walking with the Lord, I'm still overwhelmed. For 20 years walking with the Lord, I'm still overwhelmed that he brought me into the kingdom and gave me something to do in the kingdom. If I was a door holder, I would still be thankful. I would rather be a door holder in the kingdom than have all the riches of the world apart from the Lord Jesus Christ. And for that, man, I am eternally grateful. I look forward to the day where I will see him. And I will take the crown off my head that he gave me and lay it at his feet. And I look forward to the day I get a chance to do that and say thank you for the endless ages of eternity, for not allowing me to be separated from you. And I look forward to that day. Yeah, I'm Marvel Sam.
What you just said reminded me of that past.
Wow.
Yeah, so as you can see right there, that's the other thing too, is that we don't confess our sins to man. We confess our faults and so on and so forth. You don't have to, obviously know the details of whatever person has been through, but the fact of the matter is that they change from their ways to follow Christ. And once that happens, that's all that matters. Now, people will try to bring up the past and make you look bad and, say things about you and so on and so forth. But here's the thing is, if you continue going down the same road and doing the same things, don't be surprised what happens. But at the same time, also don't be surprised what happens when you turn to God. There are going to be all kinds of trials and tribulations and so on and so forth that's going to take you to certain places that you don't want to go, certain places that you thought you wouldn't go, So it's just crazy to me, how people, ask people, and I'm not just talking about, one person in particular, everyone, we're so naive. All of us, we're so naive when it comes to certain things. If you remember what happened to Tiger Woods, same thing. He made this facade that he was a family man, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But, in the dark, he was doing all kind of crazy junk. And all his laundry ended up coming out because, once his, wife found out about the situation, it was game over. That's the thing. Everyone puts out this persona, and I'm going to tell you just like it is, man. I'm a sinner just like you. I am no better than you. Just like he said, I'm not going to put myself above anyone else because I honestly, I can't. And people who do, that's ridiculous. And a lot of people do that same exact thing. They put themselves above everyone else because, oh, I'm doing this or I'm doing that. It don't matter. We all have to deal what we have to deal with, walking with Christ, carrying our cross, period. All of us. And then there are those who don't carry the cross and are not walking with Christ. They got their things to deal with. But I'm going to tell you right now, just like, rest in peace, Billy Graham said, there is a sacrifice when you're walking with Christ. There is a sacrifice when you have to pick up that cross. You're going to lose family members. You're going to lose friends. You're going to lose pretty much everything that you could possibly lose just because of walking with Christ. And even Christ himself said the same thing. One of the main things he said is they will hate you because they hated me first. And that's just one. There are many different things that it says in the Bible, many different things that it says in the Bible that Jesus said, that he talks about. So, I mean, we're in this time where everything is just kind of out weird. The veil is being lifted. We're not peeking in no more. The veil is completely open. And we're seeing things for what they are. And people are still saying, It boggles me. And I get it because, like I said, in my other videos, I was there. I didn't start diving deep and looking into stuff until I believe like maybe 2010, and then I didn't really start getting into it until after 2012 because the whole Mayan calendar thing, September 11th, all these different situations, conspiracy theories, so on and so forth. And I talked about that. They say they call these things conspiracy theories. Why are they becoming true if they're conspiracy theories? Look at the two words,
conspiracy, and theory. You can't make this junk up, bro. But you have to be paying attention. You have to be paying attention to what's going on. That's pretty much it. Now, once you do, you'll start to see things as you go along. You'll start to see it in your entertainment, your media, your video games. Even today, I was seeing stuff in my video games from a long time ago. And I was like, what the heck is that? For instance, there's a game called Call of Duty. And I don't remember which one it was exactly, but I think the map was called Array. And you would blow up the cars that were on the side. And when you looked on top of them, they had these creepy images and everything else. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why are these things that are supposed to be blown up and burnt up revealing these images? And it was even more weird because the images, when you looked at it right side up, when you looked at it upside down, it became two different images. I was like, bro, what the heck? And I showed people this stuff and they couldn't even believe it. But once again, people fear the truth. And on top of that, it says in the Bible, where this guy is asking the question, he says, therefore do I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Or I think it says, because I tell you the truth, do I become your enemy? Either way, it means the same thing. And that's the way it is. People say they want the truth, but then when they get the truth, they can't accept it. And the other thing is once you do accept the truth, you get to see things for what they are. And the most messed up part about that, people, is once you start to see it and no one else is seeing it, then you become the outcast. I'm out. Peace.